We're back with Darrick Branch, owner and director of sports marketing and events company Hawaii Team Sports. Do you think that your attitude is what helped you succeed in life? Because you mentioned about your teammates saying that, they hate this place, but you always kept a positive attitude from when you arrived. So do you think that it was your attitude that helped you succeed?
Of course, that's a lot to do with it. You got to be able to get along with people, and attitude is the first thing. When you first meet someone, I guess your first impression that you give to them in anything, even like when it comes to like seeking employment, or whatever type of relationship you're seeking to establish with anybody or any organization, first impression is everything. So yeah, your attitude does go a long way. You got to be open, to sometimes, maybe express yourself in ways that, you may have not always been comfortable, or, just talk about different topics, talk about the things that, you're not, totally proud of. I'm not totally proud of, growing up in an impoverished kind of way, if that's how you want to look at it. But, I'm proud of, the fact that, my mom got it done, you know what I'm saying? And it was 3 of us, and my mom made it happen for all of us. And I'm proud to say that, the things that are instilled in me, as far like the values, the morals, how I appreciate people, the youth, my sisters have the same kind of thing, so, we just, just happen to be instilled with the right kind of things by the most important person in our lives, which is, our mother. So, a lot of other people, play big roles too. My coach in high school, this guy would go out of his way to make sure that not just me, but every player on the team, everything was cool at home. You know what I'm saying? That if we got into some kind of disagreement with our parents or something in the community at school was bothering us, he always stepped in and say, okay, I'm going to help fix it, if I can. So I just had great people, in my life that would go out of their way to help me. So, how could I have a bad attitude? I mean, you talk about coming to Hawaii. I remember when I first came to Hawaii, and I think I did have a little bit of attitude, but I think it was the confidence in knowing that, first of all, let's talk a little bit about my high school. We talked about my coach, right? Carter High School is probably every year ranked in, as far as like one of the top 5 football programs in the state of Texas. All right, and everybody knows that, when it comes to Texas, football is king. All right, so to be a part of a program like that, I was honored for one. I didn't even realize, what type of program I was a part of, to tell you the truth, until I got into my junior and my senior year. You had, all the reporters would come around at the beginning of every football season, and that's when I started really getting like a lot of notoriety as far as like being an athlete on the field. So, they want to come talk to me, and they would tell me about the history of our program. I was like, wow, I didn't know that. I was blown away by a lot of the stuff. Some of the great athletes that came from the school. Since the 50s, this program has been thriving. Playing well throughout the state of Texas. So, to be a part of that, I talked about people being chosen and taken in by certain places. And it's like I was meant to be there. That was my calling. I didn't know it then, but now as a man and all grown up and understanding that the different paths that my life could have taken, I understand it. Wow, to be where I am today, if, without, making too many people that aren't really too religious, maybe upset them, but I think God had a plan for me. You know what I'm saying? From day one, that's all I can say. I talk about the different things that could have thrown me off path, could have gotten me in trouble. There were chances, there were times when I was right there, you know what I'm saying? Right there, on the brink of being in trouble, making a bad decision, but something always tapped me on the shoulder, or some type of something, made me make another decision. And, I'm thankful for that. So of course my attitude had to be good, but when I came to University of Hawaii, I think I had a little chip on my shoulder, but it's because I had confidence in my ability as a player, and I just couldn't wait for my opportunity to show it. And as a freshman, you kind of get bumped around a little bit by the older guys and stuff. And they tell you, you're not gonna play yet and stuff like that. But my thing was that every day I wanted to prove something. Whether it be on and off the field, and that's kind of how I live my life now. Every day, I like to at least do something good. To help someone every day if possible. I think that's what, this company is all about that we started. That's how I live my life. That's how I was brought up. And people always talk about success can change things, can change people. I think I'm living testimony that don't always have to happen. You know, I hold on to the same things I held on when I was a young boy. And a lot of times I still feel like that little young kid. So, you know, to be 33 years old and still have the energy and the passion for a lot of things that I have, I'm not trying to change anything about me whatsoever, you know, unless God tell me to do that, you know. But right now, you know, I'm allowed to do some great things, you know, to be in Hawaii and, you know, to be doing what I am right now. I'm very proud. So, you know, I'm not going to change anything about Darrick Branch as far as his attitude, his morals, or his ethics. I might have, you know, work a little harder to get some things done, but overall, I'm pretty happy.
You had mentioned that you enjoyed helping people and making an impact. That's what Hawaii Team Sports does. Can you give us some idea what you folks are currently working on?
We've got various promotions and things going on. Of course, we're doing a lot of stuff with the Brian Clay Foundation. Brian Clay, of course, is a silver medalist decathlete here from Hawaii. And we're just helping him establish the things that he, as an athlete, would like to establish for the community. Every athlete, no matter who he is, if he's successful and he's, you know, accomplished a lot of things that you know, he has she has seeked to accomplish in their lives, someone has helped them along the way. You know, that's why, you know, I see a bright young man like Brian Clay who has all the ability in the world, you know, and right there on the cusp of becoming that gold medalist, you know, the best in the world, the best athlete in the world. Shoot, you know, you dream of helping people like that, you know, and that's where Hawaii Team Sports come in. We're helping him, you know, with his media and, you know, establish the Brian Clay Foundation here in Hawaii. He wants to establish a scholarship program for the youth here in Hawaii. So, you know, we're doing things like that, you know, people who want to help the youth and help anybody we're trying to partner with. That's part of also the gobble giveaway that we have going on during Thanksgiving. We're going to be giving away more than 200 turkeys to deserving families here throughout Oahu and Maui as well. 1420, of course, is helping us doing it on all their radio stations. Time Supermarket, a company which is owned by a former teammate of mine called Fast Kind Tanner. They're actually the company that helped pay for most of the turkeys. So, you know, just trying to unify my resources, join together my network of friends, business relationships. You know, we're trying to make it happen, not just for us, our company, but, you know, part of some of the things, same things that Greater Good Radio is all about. You know, it's about, if a community supports you, you got to give back to that community. You know, and that's what Hawaii Team Sports is all about. You know, we've been doing quite a few things, from football clinics. We got the in-school jam where we go into the schools and talk to the youth about staying away from drugs, alcohol, tobacco, eating healthy, staying in school, of course. So they support us, so we got to support them, and we do whatever we can to do it.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more on Greater Good Radio.